back again.
Come on, Ian, bro. Come on.
You always just got when I think like.
I don't know why that video always makes me laugh. My friends are clowns. Nonetheless, people, Deluded, I'm back again. I hope you're doing well and safe. There's light at the end of the tunnel, man. England don't look too positive. Jamaica, obviously. Congratulations to Congo. 52 years. They deserve to be at the World Cup. For us, we have to lick our wounds. It's been an eventful Brazil stinking up the place against France. It's been an eventful international break for myself, people. I hope you're doing well and safe. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and in some cases, good night. Proper football, club football is back, starting with Southampton against Arsenal in the FA Cup. And I just want to get the creative juices flowing. Please make sure you smash the like button. And before we continue, it is April. So I hope March and the start of 2026 have been great. This is the best month of the year. It's my birthday month. And big up all my Aries and all my April born in it. So I hope this month is filled with, first and foremost, for you and your loved ones, great health. Whatever your goals, hopes, dreams, ambitions, aspirations are, I hope you achieve them. Now, getting back to Arsenal. Kind of a brain teaser, or I just want to bounce thoughts off you lot. But on the obvious, we obviously want to win every competition. We obviously want to beat Southampton. Obviously, people. I'm just going to throw that out there. But if you lot were Mikel Arteta, how do you approach the Southampton game? Because there is pros and cons with this international break, right? In that legs have kind of been saved. There's a chance to do the coaching stuff, so you could potentially go strong. Bearing in mind, next Tuesday, you're playing Southampton, so it is a quick turnaround. We've got to travel, make the short kind of journey from London to Southampton, come back, everybody pack their bags, get their passport sorted. We're off to Portugal, innit? So with that being said, yeah, because of the international break, where some players have been rested, obviously you look at someone like Calafiori, he's played 120 minutes. I didn't watch Italy against Bosnia. Congratulations to Bosnia. Commiserations to the Italians, because too big of a footballing nation to keep stinking up the gaff during qualifying. And obviously Jamaica are not Italy, but I think Italy and Jamaica kind of have the same issue in that, bro, you had a very favorable qualification stage. You effed it up. But staying with Arsenal, players have been rested. Obviously, a lot of players have played minutes. You can't look beyond Southampton, and it is a cup, but you do have an eye on the Premier League and the Champions League starting on Tuesday. So do you rest players in that regards? Like, do you genuinely rest players, quote unquote rest? Do you play a weakened squad, quote unquote, or do you go heavy throttle? I don't know, man. Look at this guy, the new JA pack. It's cool because, again, I'm rooting for Congo. One thing that's pissing me off with football fans, yeah, and mainly those online, yeah, it's annoying because I think people are snooty. I don't like when people try and gatekeep sport. I don't like when people try and gatekeep anything. Football is for everybody. It doesn't matter if you're from the biggest nation in the world or the poorest nation. It don't matter if you're man, woman, black, white, or whatever. Are you faster? Are you stronger? Do you like this sport? It's a sport that's united people and stopped wars and all those things. All of this logic about, oh, how can you have a World Cup without Italy? They haven't been in the last three. Last time I checked, Congo, Haiti, Curacao, Bosnia, even all them nations there earned the right to be there. And I know people do this snooty thing, and I think it's very, I don't know the word, but it just pisses me off in that, oh, well, why are they there? They're not going to win the World Cup. One, it inspires generations. For all the nations I said, there's people that will be making the trip to America, Mexico, Canada. There's people that will be listening on the radio or on TV, seeing their country's flag, seeing their countrymen. It's a great memory that stays with you for life, people. And football and sport mirror each other. You don't believe me? Go and look at the last two times France have won the World Cup owing to when they've approached it with the whole far and left, right stuff. It pisses me off. It really does piss me off. It's not any of the countries I said fault if you're Denmark and you lost to Belarus. It's not Congo's fault that they beat Jamaica. And obviously people are doing the whole Italy-Congo thing. Bosnia are 20 places, forgive me if I'm wrong, below Congo. So where does it go? It's a bit snooty. I thought it was the World Cup. I thought it was for everybody. I thought everybody earned the right to be there. And of course, if you look at Congo versus Jamaica, it's conflicting feelings for myself, innit? Obviously, as a human being, we're selfish. I would want Jamaica to be there. He ain't been there since 1998. I haven't seen as a grown adult, us in a major competition, I haven't seen Arsenal win the Premier League as a grown adult. These are things I wanted to change. But then it's a prideful moment for Congo. They ain't been there since 52 years. They were called Zaire. So again, pick up a history book and learn about all that kind of stuff. Free Congo, by the way. They deserve that. And that's going to be there for life for them. So they're the kind of things. And there's plenty of other nations. I know I said Haiti, Carousel, Congo. You know, some would even say Bosnia. Bit of humble pie for the Italians as well, because the images are resurfacing of when Bosnia beat Wales. The Italians were rejoicing. And you know what? Big up Italy, but owing to when England obviously lost the Euros, you do kind of like it. And big up Congo as well. I'll be supporting you lot all the way. But when you lot lose a game, I'm here, because all my Congolese brethren been doing the most. They've been at me in stories. They've been at me on Snapchat. They've been joining me out. I see the Congolese youths playing Vibes Cartel or whatnot. People say we can't go West Green Road. Fair enough. I like it. But again, shoes on the other foot. I'm pissed for Cali. Took me a while to clock, Aaron, that you meant Calafiori. But now he can concentrate on being fresh for start of the next season. What do you mean? Oh, obviously, Italy are not in the World Cup. As Hyper said, smash the like button. Again, best username on YouTube, in my opinion. Love Arsenal, hate the ops. Hope your health is still on the mend, my boy. Smash the likes, people, on your way in. Don't forget to comment. Even a dot helps the algorithm. Facts. Big up the members. Uzo, appreciate you. Levon, appreciate you. BG, appreciate you. No one in primary school has seen... What? No one in primary school has seen Italy in a World Cup. None of them. Crazy. It's mad. It is mad, because even Italy's golden generation, they have bowed out of competitions quickly. There's something, like a lot of countries, there's something fundamentally wrong, clearly, with Italian football, because the Italian teams, you know, I'm only 30, I'm 30, 31 later this month. There was a time you say, you know, I still subconsciously, people say Juventus, Inter, AC Milan. I still think they're some of the biggest clubs in Europe, which they are, but they're nowhere near where they past used to be. I always say to you, lot, yeah, you see a lot of players that are on the way out, like the extended end of 30. You see a couple of younger players in the Premier League that don't really do nothing. Højlund, McTominay, Arnautovic, they go Italy, they look like bagsmen. So there's something there. And there's also something fundamentally wrong in academies, because they bring players through, but it's just not happening at youth, at senior level. Yeah, you know what? The last 3 World Cups, it almost sounds surreal saying Italy haven't been in the last 3 World Cups. It's mad. And managed to win the Euros. Like, it is mad. It is mad. And big up Gyokeres as well. He ended Lewandowski's streak, but they can never talk on Gyokeres. Since 2026, there might not be a better performing striker. You see what my guy's done. He's going to get Sweden to the World Cup. In fact, he's done that. He's going to end our 20-year drought, all while having a spliff on his ear, magnum in his hand, and boot cuts. It'd be fair to say history is written by the victors, right? For all the Arsenal haters, for all the bullshit you lot talk about my football club, you better pray in these 7 games we fuck this up. And I'm praying that Arsenal don't, because the way we're going to rewrite history, I'm listening to you lot. We're bottlers. We can only play one way. We settle for set pieces. Saka is overrated. Eze, Arteta's crippled all the attackers. Arteta's been here for 6 years, done nothing. All we can do is defend. All of those things. And if I've missed any out, people, please make sure you comment, because all of them are going to be taken, put on a Google Doc sheet, and we're going to manipulate. Because when I'm hearing all of this, that tells me you don't rate Arsenal Football Club. So if we're going to be shameless with all of these things that you have said about my club, then you could argue this is the greatest Premier League victory in recent times. Hey, all's fair in love and war, man. But yeah, big up Gyokeres for that. Rob, appreciate you. Ready for Saturday? I think we all are. Nathan, the man called me Unc, said he's the same age as us. Footy chats, where you been, man? Appreciate you. 3 most successful World Cup teams: Germany, Italy, Brazil, all fallen giants when it comes to internationals. Brazil's rubbed, unfortunately. Germany, it's a weird one, because I still kind of rate them. They're kind of there, but I don't know it feels like something just missing from them. Of the 3, they're the best side. Italy still have that grit like they've shown in the Euros, but clearly Italy are falling off a cliff. Football's really changed, man. Nah, man. They say Gyokeres plays in boot cuts. Don't let him win the Premier League in his first season in boot cuts, because we're gonna rewrite history. He's won the Puskas, obviously had a tough season, ended our 20+ year goal drought, struggled with all of Sweden to qualify for the World Cup up until this international period, where he's obviously done his thing. Bearing in mind, he helped Sporting Lisbon and their Premier League Portuguese title drought. We're flipping everything. We're flipping everything. And all I would say to these publications and these YouTubers that is, oh, Arsenal. If we win the league, I need more vids. I need the same amount of vids. I need the same amount of output, because I know why. You lot just need to be honest as to why you don't want us to win the league or a trophy. Big up Man City. They won the League Cup. Nobody really cares. It's not really making noise. Arsenal fans will make bare noise. if you know, I would have loved this to be the case. But if we went and won the League Cup last Sunday, some Arsenal fans there's probably still at Finsbury Park in the park who licked, ain't showered, ain't nothing. They don't want us to be happy. Embrace the villainy, people. They're never gonna talk about us fairly. Football fans will, and I'm talking about honest men and women that love the game, can put banter to the side. But the vast majority, they're going to discredit it. Let them. Don't let it define us, man. World boss, guy, as the man has said, hit the like button, man. DG, the other DG. Pick up yourself also, DG. Yo, Dowman, MLS, and Ethan doing us proud. Bring back Ethan, boy. I need to see Max Dowman in the England under-21s. He needs to be put in situations that's above, on paper, his pay grade. Ethan Nwaneri, Miles Lewis-Skelly sourcing in midfield. It's what we know. We definitely need to make sure all three of these guys bust through to the thing, people. So, yeah, it is what it is, man. You didn't care about the cup final yet, spent almost an hour moving about your performance after the game. Riley, your antennas, you're not listening. You see what happens when you type? You're moving like gal. When when you're arguing with a woman, big up the ladies. When you're arguing with a woman and they reply to respond rather than listening. Come on. This is from someone dyslexic. The English isn't making sense there. And what I mean by that is, you didn't hear me. Nobody cares about City winning the League Cup. I care, but the world don't care because there's bigger talking points. Arsenal players pulling out of international break is drawing more attention than them. This is why I said just be honest, because I'm like that. If Arsenal not winning, I'd rather City win shit. I know Liverpool fans, I know Spurs fans, I know Chelsea fans, I know United fans. No one don't know no City fans, no legit City fans. What are you talking about? And Riley, you're my guy, but you need to focus because you think De Zerbi's going to change that two-pack of arse team. Focus, man. Focus, please. Get back in your box. Enjoy your holiday, man. And to your missus, hi. Is he not treating you right? Why are you not going on excursions? I know he's just listening to his favorite YouTuber. Shout me. We got Riley, man. Manny, appreciate you. Jalen, appreciate you. SJ, appreciate you. Pot, appreciate you. Class, Clown, SLD, appreciate you. Social joins, it said, was MLS in midfield or started at left back? I only saw the highlights. Looks like he's in midfield, which Lee Carsley's comments owing to what Lee Carsley says, he sees him as a midfielder. I'm happy for Lewis-Skelly. Obviously, you don't want no injuries. You haven't had any minutes. So if you can go and get some minutes and do what you want to do, which you're paid to do, is be a footballer, great stuff. And we know we love Miles Lewis-Skelly, in it. Like, we know what he could do. I would just love to have a conversation with Arteta, whether I agree with it or not. Is it the right do you have plans of playing him on a more frequent basis, either at left back or centre mid, heavy on centre mid? It's just in your mind, it's not the right time. Because, again, way before he got his opportunity last season, which we couldn't predict, do you remember in the summer, the Athletic and all of them were saying they see his pathway as a left back. They think he can do the Zinchenko thing, which he obviously done. Now, that left back role has changed to which, and there's obviously other players there now. Centre mid, him and Norgard haven't got an opportunity. So it tells me by hook or by crook, Declan Rice and Zubamendi's the thing. And I know people are not fit, but I genuinely think in Arteta's mind, if Marino's fit, the Marinos, the Kais, these are more likely to feature in midfield. I really hope we don't mess up this MLS bag, man. If anything, loan the man out next season, but I'd love him to be involved, man. And again, with Norgard and MLS, I think they could have got more starts. I definitely hope Miles Lewis-Skelly starts against Southampton. The one thing I failed to understand, especially with Norgard and MLS, bearing in mind Rice and Zubi look a bit spent and played a lot of minutes, is the sub appearances. So, yeah, just 7 games left in the Prem. Just get this thing over the line. What the heck? 60 people watching, only 20 likes. Smash the likes. Big up the New Yorkers, man. Half watching ain't hitting the like button, people. Get the likes up. Watchers and likes ratio not matching. Come on, big up my members and my mods, man. MLS doing his part, staying ready. That's all you can do, and you're going to have to cope with it being at a big club. I know it sucks. You know, you've had to stay patient. You've got your opportunity. England camp, Real Madrid, everything's happening, and it's bang like this. I guess it's very difficult to go back to eating fish and chips when you've tasted caviar in it. But this is the reality for a lot of these kind of footballers. This is for all of the big players, that good talented young players at big clubs, man. Big up DG, my striker, got Sweden to the World Cup, and he's about to deliver us the Premier League, mate. So the way I'm going to rewrite history, man, the way I'm going to rewrite history is going to be annoying. Genuine question. If you want these youth players in, who are you selling? Because certain man won't hold bench. I addressed this in the summer. I said the easiest ones to leave out is Max Dowman because he's 16, in and out the side. MLS and 1 year, especially with signing new deals. You're going to, if there's a 10-game stretch, the gaffer is going to pick those experienced players, rightly or wrongly, who can give you 10 6s out of 10s rather than an MLS or a 1 year that's up and down. MLS proved he was way too much for the 21s. True. 1 year the same. Definitely Max Dowman with boy. I'm not impressed with what I saw from Max Dalman, and I am, but I'm not. It's because it's you. Any other player does that, I'm like, wow, it's normal for you now. And this is, I'm not saying Max Dalman needs to be called up for England's full team. Whether you want to do that or not, let me know. Yeah, but this is where England go wrong, because if he was German or Spanish and they said, granted, you're nowhere near the first team setup, he's not playing under 21s. You're going to the under 20, you're going to the 20s, or you're going to the 21s. Then obviously that frees up a space for another talented lad that's not better than a Rio Ngoma or another one, or a Max Dalman to get it that in the under 19 spot. This is something that we do wrong all the time. Like, Max Dalman's at the stage where we do need to. He's obviously talented. He's obviously great, but it's like a swimmer. I'm not impressed if you can swim in the shallow end. You need to go in the deep end now. You need to be playing against players where you skip past them, you get clamped, they wait you, because it's all consistency now, speed of thought, and managing the up and downs as a footballer now. That's where Max is. And we just pray to God, him and all these young players, they stay fit. They're going to have good and bad moments. Then you've got it all to do. I did want to ask you like this, people. And also, Nwaneri and MLS, probably, you look at the Kais, the Odegaards, the Marinos, the Trossards, the Martinellis. Either in the next year or 2 years, there might be spots opening up, which is why you can't rule out going on load. I saw this just before we went live, and I'd love to know where you lot are at, people. Vote for your men's player of the month for March. You've got David Raya, Gabriel Magalhaes, Declan Rice, and Eze. I feel like at various points this season, I've defo voted Rice, I've defo voted David Raya, and I've defo voted Magalhaes, maybe even multiple times. I want to say Eze, the first North London derby, but I might be capping. Probably a bit reactionary. But for the month of March, excluding the final, obviously. Well, in fact, Eze, you weren't there. I'd go Eze. Where are you lot? I'd go Eze for this period. The highlight of Eze's month came when he scored a superb long-range strike to open the scoring against Leverkusen. He also scored off the bench against Mansfield. And obviously, yeah, Magalhaes is just Magalhaes doing his thing, and him and Saliba, to be fair, Saliba could have been nominated on this as well. David Raya is David Raya, Declan Rice is Declan Rice. And they all, arguably, from the last month of football, you can't not say Raya couldn't have won it. Magalhaes couldn't have won it. Eze couldn't have won it. Me, personally, I'm probably going to lean towards Eze, man. Classic Gooner's going with Eze as well. Hyper's just doing the Lord's work and saying smash the like button. Thankfully, no more international breaks. The final games of the season are going to be played, hopefully with no injuries and at least 5 to 7 wins required to win the Premier League. If I see City minimum draw and lose, we're there, man. MLS so attacking. I think MLS as an 8 or 10 would be more defensive. Odegaard, he isn't as good a passer or dribbler. Are you sure about Odegaard's passing? Sure, he can develop those attributes in the future, but it's not the level of a 10. MLS will not play as a 10. That's a 6 and an 8 in the making. Or let's just say centre mid. I think we get too hung up on that. And to be fair, if you can play left back and you can play centre mid, bro, that's 2 positions. You're not Philip Lahm, but it's a good person to try and learn to be like, innit? Deluded, how are you? I'm good, man. And when you are in the gym, do you like cardio? I can't lie, I hate cardio, man. I hate when I have to go on the treadmill. Bodybuilding, I wouldn't say I'm bodybuilding. Powerlifting, why not? And who's my favorite Arsenal player of all time? Thierry Henry, if you were to put a gun to my head, currently in the team. There's too many favorites, man. Like, I couldn't pick. I like all of them, man. Like, I'd probably die if you put a gun to my favorite Arsenal player now in this squad. Let's get MLS. Obviously, Saka's my guy. Anything Max Dalman, all the HALE boys, including Eze, to be fair. Magalhaes. Can't not love Timber. Magalhaes, man, because he's a bit of a shithouser, really. I'll give it Magalhaes if you were to force me on one. But again, I'll probably change my mind. MLS isn't a midfielder. He might fill in for the game, but we need to crash that agenda. I disagree that he's not a midfielder. He might not be a midfielder in Arteta's mind, which is valid and whatnot, rightly or wrongly. But I disagree that he's not a midfielder. Only time DG runs is when he's losing the ball on the field and fouling players. Get out of there. I'd like to keep Odegaard for one more season, only to allow Nwaneri to loan for one more season, then integrate him into the first team. They probably just need pathways. Remember what Odegaard was doing before his injury? He showed a little here and there, but I meant 2023-24 season. Odegaard's a way better passer than MLS. Well, MLS is better than Odegaard. He's obviously, I think the mentality is more likely to try things, whether it's youthful exuberance. They've got different strengths in it. MLS is better at receiving the ball and driving. But Odegaard must be a joy to watch in training. I know he's not flavor of the month, and I've got many a question mark, but if you go and watch Odegaard up close and they're doing the 2-touch training and whatnot, he's probably as clean as a whistle, like if I'm honest. You lot are doing me dirty though. No, but only one man has answered people. You've got David Raya, you've got Declan Rice, you've got Magalhaes, and you've got Eze. People, who are you lot going with in terms of your player of the month? In fact, we should have a poll. Player. Let's go, Eze. We need you back fit, don't we? Let's put Raya. Let's put Rice. And let's put Gabby. Since you lot don't want to participate, what's all this about? Our left wing and right back replacement is a priority. Sell both Trossard, Martinelli, and Jesus. I doubt Arteta will sell Odegaard and Havertz. It's not that you're wrong, yeah, but I'd feel very uncomfortable just in terms of bodies. Does it really make sense? Yeah, and obviously we need to get rid of people. We can't just keep people for the sake of it. But cool, Trossard and Jesus go. Trossard, Jesus leave. Yeah, you bring in one man. Cool. We all want that game changer left winger. We've all probably had enough. But if Magalhaes goes, if Trossard goes, if Martinelli goes, and on paper only one attacker comes in, we've got less bodies. And even though we was good with our squad, we brought in 8 players, literally from August to now, we've been dealing with injuries. There's been points where we have had those conversations, mainly in the first part of the season when everyone's fit, who's on the bench, who's involved. Oh my God, their days are numbered. The first time I really deep that, we're going to have to be very careful with these injuries. Brighton in the League Cup when Harriman and Noose and Dowman started. So it don't really make sense. You got to remember the bodies. If it was up to me and it was as white and black as this, you bring me a striker. Ideally, it would be Julian Alvarez because you're better than Gyokeres. Big up Gyokeres. But you two in the squad, I'm laughing. Obviously, you can play out wide. Or you bring in a deputy for Gyokeres. So that's a striker. Goes without saying, left winger in it, without a doubt. You need that left wing needs to be sorted now, in it. Like that left wing is jarring. It's jarring now. So left wing up front. If I could push it to 2 centre mids, I would. But I'll say 1 centre mid just to be humble. And don't shoot me. But I think we need another defender, whether that's a centre half that could play right back, a right back that could play centre half, an out and out right back. I'm here for it, innit? Raya, very important for us this month. Big up Boston. Appreciate you. I want Alvarez and Gyokeres up front. Bro, out left wingers are arse. We need a second striker and complete new left wingers. Yeah, but really and truly, half of the players we want to move on. Like, let's just say all players that divide opinion. Like, all of different scenarios. Some people wouldn't cry if Odegaard went. Some people wouldn't cry if Havertz went. Some people wouldn't cry if Marino went. Trossard, Martinelli, insert any names I've forgotten here, people. But you get the point. There's about 5, 6. Them man leave. Are we really going to bring in the next 6? All better as well, which we all want. Some players that we want to... It's a techie window because there's going to be some business that we want to do and we can't do it because we can't move on players. Either we can move them on or our targets, quote unquote, are not attainable for this window. There's a lot of moving parts and I don't envy Berta, really, if I'm honest with you, in that regards. I just want them to see us move from being a good team to a great team. And obviously, the backdrop is actually creating some a bit of history now, winning some titles. But especially in my attacking rank, I want to look at them and I want to know what I'm getting. It's easier said than done. It definitely is. But you now want us to get Salah when he was at Roma and then when he went off to do what he did at Liverpool. Mane when he was at Southampton. We don't need another centre-half, but Van Dijk when he was at Southampton. Kevin De Bruyne when he's in the Bundesliga. Gundogan when he's at Borussia Dortmund. We kind of need to go and get them. I think there's a bit, if I'm honest, it's too much gambling in the final third, man. Raya nicks it for me. He made some stellar saves in March. I'm going Raya. Raya made some crazy saves. Do love Eze, though. Oh, this is post-watershed, DG. At least one left winger, a creative centre mid, and a backup right back. I don't know if we're going to get a creative centre mid. And that's why, do you know what? I'm so keen on, if I just take the names at face value, if you were to get Elliot Anderson, Adam Wharton, a Tonali, purely because, and maybe I don't know the reasons behind this, but we're all thinking Zubi's played a lot of minutes. Can we rest him? Rice the same. Arteta clearly is not comfortable to do that, rightly or wrongly, and there is 7 games left. If you do have Tonali and all the names I said, Declan Rice, Zubi, then there's no excuse for him not to rest one, in it, really and truly. Because it's jarring, but it is what it is. That's so weird. Italy is like the 3rd or 4th best league in Europe and can't qualify for the World Cup. That don't mean much, though. What does that really and truly mean? Really and truly, because some people would say the Premier League is the best league or the most competitive. And yes, I know England have got to 2 Euros finals in the World Cup, but generally, and because we've been saying that about England for time, or the Prem for time, no one ain't saying nothing. And really and truly, are the best players in Italy the Italians? Are the best players in the Prem the English? I don't know. Alvarez, Tonali, Onana, Nico Williams, Forest. Nico Williams of Forest. And he said, no, if you had me before that, no. Punky, one love, no. Decent player, but no. Not good enough defensively, man. If I'm completely honest. Should people chill a bit with MLS given he's only 19? He needs some time to grow, play first team football at a decent level. Look at Saliba, Emil, and Ketia. All these guys had a low move, so they can't play, they can play football and learn. Yes and no. Because I do think I kind of don't look at MLS's age. You notice I keep saying Norgard. I just look at the tools in the toolbox that we've got for what we're trying to accomplish this season. But yes, in a sense that, God forbid, he could be sold. Like, he could be sold. He could be moved on. He could be loaned out. He could be integrated next season. He could have a massive part to play this year. So yes and no in that he is young. Where it's probably changed is he done so well last season, innit? To be honest, I have criticism of our wing and players not finding my striker, but 99% of the smoke I got is for bottling cups and titles. Arsenal fans, as we are too soft with our players. We should see it as thank you for your help. And if we win the Prem, it might become easier to say that for me at least. There are some decisions like, if it was white and black, Jesus, one love. I don't want Ben White to go, but they might say, you know what, we could get a less injury-prone right back on less wages. There's interest in you. Keep it moving. But again, you are relying on these players to leave. What if Ben White don't want to leave? Gabriel Jesus got a year left on his deal. Big money. Is anyone going to be running to give Arsenal a transfer fee? Someone might offer us a loan. Obviously, with a year left, it might not make sense. Everything's on the up for debate with Jesus. I hope we get some sort of money because I've become accustomed to seeing us just kind of rip up contracts and things like that. I do think we need to get away from that. Arsenal need a tactical evolution and a squad evolution this summer. No joke. We have Odegaard, Eze, Wanyeri, and low-key Marino as a centre mid. It's the system that must evolve, not recruiting new players. They both go hand in hand. DJ, I think like this next season would have the same forward hurt us more or having the same midfielders. I think we can get away with our midfielders, but not our forwards. I hear you, but I don't think there's enough numbers in midfield. But yeah, carrying this on, as you lot know, Sweden have qualified for the 2026 World Cup. Lewandowski, fantastic serviceman for your nation and football, but you get me, it's Gyokeres' time, man. You get me? You can't come round here. Gyokeres is clutch, man. You know what my striker does. 15 goal contributions in 22 games for club and country in 2026. I'm going to rewrite history about you. If we do this, you as well, because there was a lot of smoke. And is anyone talking on my guy Martinelli? You knew I wasn't going to miss this out. He scored. Vinicius, I know Rodrigo's injured, but they can never. When it comes to, listen, big moments, the big game players standing up to be counted. Brazil is going to embarrass me at the World Cup, and this firmly is a cold picture from Gyokeres. Big up Gyokeres, man. You know, him and Sweden were messing about in World Cup qualifying, 2 must-win games, bags a hat-trick. The next game, bags in the 82nd minute is so beautiful, it's ugly. I love it, mate. And obviously, I hope this don't play because of the video, but you would have seen Max Dauman's goal, mate. What a guy. Where has that gone? Well, we spoke on Max. Sweden are fired to the World Cup courtesy of Gyokeres people. There was penalty heartbreak for Riccardo Calafiori in Italy. Norgard was on the bench. Unfortunately, Denmark will not be going to the World Cup. Max Dauman and Martinelli did bag. Obviously, Dauman for England's under-19s and Martinelli for Brazil. Obviously, Rayo got some rare minutes for Spain. And obviously, big up Christian Mosquera as well. Benjamin White got a start for England as well as scoring. It's been decent for him, bar the booze. Japan dealt with England, and Kobe Mainoo was running in cement. But again, my hot take, because international football is just a microcosm of what we see of club level. Of course, ability, individual brilliance is always going to make the difference off the ball. And I know it wasn't the strongest. It wasn't the strongest English side, but that goal they conceded is horrible. The goal, the way France beyond ability were cutting through Brazil is horrible. Teams that are not switched on off the ball, it's crazy. We might just see what we see in the Premier League in that games cancel each other out. It's a set piece thing. Now, we did kind of cover this yesterday, but if you've been living under a rock, Newcastle set asking prices for 3 Arsenal targets, and they've made their intentions clear to rival clubs who are already beginning to register interest in the club's prize assets ahead of the summer transfer window. Now, obviously, it's been a poor season from Newcastle. There's even been question marks about their financial situation, about if Eddie Howe is going to remain there. And every player that they have and their dog is linked with moves away. To be fair, Gomorrah ain't been the one that's been linked with the most aggressive moves, but Bruno Gomorrah, Tino Livramento, who else is there? Sandro Tonali, Anthony Gordon, etc., etc. We all know a lot of dominoes need to fit for these players to be moved on. But yeah, Gomorrah and his midfield partner Tonali are both attracting admiring glances from elsewhere, as are England internationals Anthony Gordon and Timo Livramento. It'd be interesting. When asked about player sales, David Hopkinson, the Newcastle chief executive, admitted the club will have to be open for business as they look to improve player trading to comply with new financial rules. And I think they sold St. James's Park stadium rights or something. I don't know. I just saw it on Twitter. We haven't got an overall strategy with regards to moving players out. We think through what players might or might not want to do this summer. But if an Isaac-like scenario presents itself again, any player under contract is going to leave on our terms. And we're going to maximize the opportunity that might represent for the club. That absolutely does mean extracting the maximum price. I mean, that's business, isn't it? For me, Isaac was a good sell in terms of getting a British record fee. I wasn't here for the Isaac situation, so I don't want to comment on something I didn't see firsthand. What I do know is that players that leave this club will need to do so on our terms. And again, in January, we were linked with Tonali. We've been linked probably for about 18 months, like Liverpool with Anthony Gordon. Man United are also in the race for Tonali. They're holding out for 100-odd million quid. The Magpies have put a similar price tag on Gordon as well. Trossard and Martinelli face uncertain futures, as does Ben White at Arsenal. Andrea Berta is under pressure to sell in order to help balance the books after last summer's record outlay. Arsenal are keeping tabs on Livermento's situation, with the fullback having 2 years left to run on his deal, and he's shown little inclination to extend his deal. Interesting. Arteta got more job security than the statues at the museums. Nelly is an animal for the team. He dies on the pitch 1 minute to 90 plus 10 at our worst and best, at his worst and best. Never once put his head down. We need to sell him, sure, but we do need a Diaz type. I just wish we could find Santi Cazorla. I just wish Santi Cazorla was. I just wish we had. If I'm honest, I wish we had Santi Cazorla and Alexis Sanchez in this team, but that's not how it works, man. Don't want another City cast off. Alvarez is past his best. How Julian Alvarez past his best? How? Let's do it. How? And where's that gonna get? Where's that thinking gonna get us? You could say Thierry Henry was a cast off from Juventus. Dennis Bergkamp from Inter Milan. Mohamed Salah, Chelsea reject, flop, whatever have it. Fair to say he's a Liverpool legend. The list goes on and on and on. There has to be a footballing reason not to want him. Not what, because he played for City. They don't make much, and he's past his best. Really? Past his best. Past his best. I have to respectfully disagree. What is this? If it will load, and obviously Calafiori in Italy once again have failed to qualify for the World Cup. Max Dalman Dazzles was solo stunner as England's under-19s put 6 past Portugal. It's hard not to be excited about this young man. He's got all the future. Just stay grounded, work hard. And Gyokeres is Sweden's hero, people. You could never look at my guy, man. Look at my guy, man. Big game player. Big game player. Miles Lewis-Skelly needs to take a step back to move forward, but here's how he's getting the right way about getting his career on track, writes Nathan Salt. Oh, it was back in March last year when Lewis-Skelly fever had captured the nation. The teenager was playing every week for Arsenal and had been called up by Thomas Tuchel to the England senior national team. He bypassed the under-21s, and he wrote himself into the record books as the youngest player to score in his England debut, surpassing Marcus Rashford. Okay. But speaking on the touchline of one of the training pitches at St. George's Park, Ashley Cole, then the 21 star, found himself in the minority by refusing to get carried away. What I would say is you've got to be careful with these young players. They're special and they're precious, and you have to take your time sometimes. Now, 12 months on, obviously, it's not quite happening for Lewis-Skelly, but we back him all the way. He's played 5 times for England's under-16s, played for the 17s, played for the 18s. Obviously, they've done it backwards in that you played for the full national team and then the 21s. He finds himself at a crossroads, apparently, people. Lewis Hall and Nico O'Reilly, as well as Livermento and Spence, all seem ahead of him. What's going for Tiger Woods off topic, people? Like, he's always in the news for shit he shouldn't be in the news. De Zerbi is Spurs gaffer, and I am liking this graphic of Vinay. Vinay, I know you got one more twist for me in making sure Spurs get down and lay down. He finds himself at a crossroads. Daily Sport understands he is under consideration at Man United, having been offered up to United by intermediaries, and is on the outside looking in with England. The question inside the FA was, how would Lewis-Skelly respond to it, or would he embrace the challenge that came with leading a youth side? 100%. Listen, no matter how much the media try and do that nonsense around Lewis-Skelly, you're allowed to be disappointed that you might not get your dream of going to the World Cup, not building on what you need to build on. But you really think this man can't sit there and go, that's how I feel. My ego comes to the side. It's about the collective for Arsenal. We're doing what we need to do. You know, if I want to move on and do all those things, it's at the end of the season. I'm going to get my head down. I'm going to stay ready so I don't need to get ready. This is someone that does a lot with vision boards, a lot of charity work, very grounded. No matter how much they've tried to assassinate this young man's character, it's not going to happen, people. So all options have to be on the table. I can't lie, this is a lot of waffle, man. This is a lot of waffle. All we saw is United apparently been linked. We've seen that before. Right, Rice. I got black mates. No, I'm joking. Yeah. Arsenal are increasingly likely to sell Gabriel Martinelli this summer, according to a report. The Brazilian international has been a crucial part of the Gunners' rise in recent years. Plucked from his home country as a raw teenager, Martinelli perhaps typifies the Arsenal evolution under Mikel Arteta better than everyone. Still only 24. Someone else is 24. Yeah, you and Saka. Martinelli has been turned into a disciplined Premier League proven winger by Arteta, while others have fallen by the wayside. The attacker has managed to evolve. I mean, Martinelli's my guy, as you know, so we're going to run that agenda, but I'm not sure. However, a point now may have been reached where Martinelli can't keep up anymore. Though he's still been a solid contributor for the Premier League leaders, there's growing consensus that Arsenal can do better. He's got 2 years left on his deal with the option of another one. Comes down to wages, innit? Like, obviously, you're not hitting the heights you once did, but you are going to be a rotationary option. You're on probably, 170 grand a week. Ben White's on like 150. Trossard's on 100 odd grand. Jesus is one of our highest earners. It's not that, listen, I don't care if these footballers get it because the players deserve it. That's their business. But in terms of the finances, these are areas we're going to have to address, and others as well, people. Arsenal to cash in on Martinelli. Yan Diomande and Kvaratskhelia are two names under consideration. You can consider Kvaratskhelia as much as you want. Does he want to leave PSG? Do PSG want to sell him? Two questions that probably we know the answer. Have you got the bread? If you go and splash the bread, or who wouldn't in this makeshift world, if we could get Kvaratskhelia and you put 100 odd million quid, you still need to rise up a centre mid and you still need to do other stuff. And you really think we would move for him with the wages he's on at PSG and would be on something healthy at Arsenal and that wage bill without moving people on? Yan Diomande, you've got more of a chance of that, people. And both would cost 100 odd million. If you're Leipzig, we tried to get Sesko. We know how difficult it is to deal with these, man, innit? The obvious choice would be Martinelli. In fact, according to Team Talk, is looking increasingly likely that the Brazilian will be on the move this summer. I mean, he is younger than Trossard, but it'd probably be easier to move on Trossard. I mean, either or, no one don't really care. Last summer, I was of the belief of keep both of them, because you lot can quote me. I said keep both of them, bring in that next left winger. So we got bodies, we got super subs, you got the other left winger. Now, it's kind of changed in that I just want a left winger regardless. If they both go, they both go. Arsenal will not actively force Martinelli out, but if the right offer is presented, they will look to sell. Seems like that's the common theme of a lot of people at our club. His current contract runs until 2027, but with the option of a further season, waiting another year would diminish his value or force the club into handing him an extension. True. But then at the same time, you look at, maybe it's on the agenda of Berta, but Martinelli 2 years, Odegaard something similar, Havertz something similar. Bearing in mind the aggressive nature we've done in terms of giving people new deals, seems like there's a bit of radio silence with giving these lot new deals. So are we reading too little into that or too much into that? There's no shortage of interest in his services. Atletico Madrid have been linked with a move recently, and they're indeed keen. Additionally, Martinelli is said to be courted by Borussia Dortmund, Marseille, and Leipzig. You lot ain't got the bread for it, so forget it. El Nasser, Saudi links, also have a strong and long-standing interest in the winger, but the winger previously rebuffed the Saudi club's advances as he wanted to remain in Europe. It's understood that if he is to leave this summer, he wants to join a Champions League outfit. So really and truly, nothing new on that front. He's been linked with Atletico Madrid like Gabriel Jesus recently. Appreciate you, Village. Nelly for Kvaratskhelia, it's not going to bang. Swap cash plus for Alvarez, it'd be nice. Yildiz would be great, but I'd want him to play like in the midfield, man. If no one in our attack is having a good time, then it must be intentional from the gaffer. I said it before, I'm keeping Martinelli and selling Trossard and Jesus. Shame we have a poor offensive coach. Martinelli is made for Atletico Madrid. That team's ethos would suit him to a T. True. Whole attack has been stinky this season. Even last season, the attack was stinky. Big up Troublesome in the cut. MLS is 19. No rush. Just keep learning. I hear you, but to some degree, there's no better learning than playing. Like, minutes are currency, and I do think you get to that stage. Alvarez will literally arrive in his prime. I honestly forgot he was so young at City. Unpopular opinion, I think we need a new right winger. I'm not saying you're wrong, but show you're working out. I think left winger is a bigger priority than Alvarez. I think we'll see a better Glock next year. 100%. Like, I just want another striker. I just think To me, Alvarez is too good of a deal to turn down if rumors are real and there's money to scrape around and Berta can do stuff. I'm on that. Left wing, innit? Like, and I just think we need another striker anyways. Left wing's a priority, bro. Like, we're talking about it too much. Trossard was doing his thing first half of the season. Since the turn of 2026, it's been meaty. We've got bare guys that can play left wing, but there's no one you bet your house on. That's your position. We could force it and say Saka could go out there. Noni could go out there. Obviously, Martinelli can play there. Trossard can play there. Thought we'd be exposed to it a bit this season, but I think Jesus has been poor, really. Jesus can play there. A lot of people was of the belief, you know what, if Eze is to cut the mustard here, he can obviously play in midfield, but left wing. Either way, I've said a lot of names there, and there's probably some others. There's no one that you really bet on. There's the best of a bad bunch, you know. I don't, as much as I'm more team Martinelli than Trossard, you can't 100% say Trossard's a better option or Martinelli's a better option. You might fetch a higher fee for Martinelli. He's obviously on bigger wages. If you're trying to do this win now mode, Trossard in the squad is here for the present. Martinelli, there's obviously resale value, and he is a decent squad player. You're in very dangerous territory, but like when you come to accept Martinelli for what he is, and I think this kind of sums it up, but you know, he helps out defensively, which shows you kind of where we're at with the guy. According to Marca, Atletico Madrid are determined to secure Alvarez's future despite him already being tied to the contract until 2030 with a staggering 500 million euros release clause. I'd love to be proven wrong. We know we're not getting Alvarez. Let's say City verdict / penalty come out during the season. Do we still celebrate our title? I want the EPL to wait until the summer. Huh? Wait, have I read this right? Let's say City verdict / penalty come out during the season. Do we still celebrate our title? I want the EPL to wait until the end of the summer, till the summer. Pardon my language. What the fuck has City's verdict got to do with us? If we win the Premier League, I don't give a muck. Oh, bro, it's been 20 years. It's been 20 years. What do you mean? Celebrate? Are you mad? Forget that. I don't even care about these internet nerds that are going to sit there and go, how, but you only won it because City got points deduction. Fuck that. Forget that. That's their business. Like, what do you mean we don't celebrate? Man, then we're not going to see a resolution to that anytime soon. That ain't got nothing to do with us, bro. The hell does that have to do with us? What does that have to do with us? Celebrate, bro. That's their business, bro. I don't give a monkeys. We're still linked with Arda Galera as well. Another one that's easy for us to be linked with. I would love him at the carpet. We'll get into Ferran Torres, man. Anyone having Ferran Torres? Again, lewis-skelly still being linked to Man United as well as a couple of other clubs. Mikel Arteta picks Arsenal's new superstar forward, Cameron Smith, elite title. Don't know if he's a superstar, but apparently Arsenal are reportedly among the clubs monitoring Barcelona forward Ferran Torres ahead of a potential move during the upcoming summer transfer window. He's been capped 54 times for Spain and has 16 goals in 40 appearances this season. I'm not on it. And apparently Barcelona are looking at Alvarez. Crazy, man. Man United are considering a move for him as well. Leave him to Man United. You lot do your thing. Anyone having Ferran Torres? In addition to Torres, Football Transfers understands Arsenal also interested in Livramento and Tonali. We're keen on a left winger. This is interestingly said, Leao remains on our radar, although the club could opt to rekindle their interest in Athletic Club superstar Nico Williams. Rafa Leao, Nico Williams. Which one would you go for? And I know it's relevant but irrelevant. Ability is one thing. Nico Williams has done us dirty. A lot of other teams as well. Rafa Leao ain't. So does that play a part? Or is that too emotional? MLS has to be playing more so than Wanyeri. I agree. The attack is not attacking. Would like to see at least one Prem game in this last 7 where there is cohesive, fluid, tactical approach resulting in open play goals and a high score line. BG, I'm with you, but you see me, I'm at the point now, like, bro, there's 7 games. Like, just get the Prem. Just get the Prem. Just get it over the line. Like, we need this. You lot abroad, us here, we need it. Like, we need it. Beyond the obvious, we need it. Like, we need it, we need it, and we need it. We ain't got time for nothing else. What match are we voting on? You're voting on Player of the Month. Player of the Month. I'll even be there. The United get 1 too. Ferran Torres is whack. Forget Ferran Torres. I'm not on that at all. We're going to celebrate our stolen titles being returned. Bro, I don't give a monkeys about it. But I'll leave that to the Twitter dons. Like, oh, City discredited. He's going to overshadow it. That's great. Everybody, forward to N5. We've got celebrations to do. If we've earned it fair and square, that's them, man, cheating. Ferran, yeah, we're cooked. I'm scared with the Ferran links because we're always linked with him. He actually joined Barcelona off the back of some decent form at City. I don't think it will happen. I don't know what plans you solve because you can play left wing, right wing, up front. You could definitely understand the system and you can cope with the pressure. You play for Spain, you play for Barca, play for City. I just don't want to sign any more attackers where the glass is half full, half empty, and we're starting conversations if Arteta can do this and that. Like, that shit has to stop with Noni now. Unless it's some young G's from Brazil and that. If they're fairly grounded, unpolished diamonds, I'm not on it no more. Like, if I'm honest with you, I'll celebrate twice if that's the case. Finish them. I proper miss some of the overlap play by the likes of Benny Blanco. Inverted fullback seems to be the fashion these days. We should mix it up sometimes. We already have, if I'm honest. We don't need a defensive left winger. The best time to sell these players is when you win the Prem because their value will be better. Fair enough, get it done. Klopp saw a fall off in his last 2 seasons. Teams brought defensively and shored up their midfield and defense to sit in low blocks. They do it even more now. Transitional football exists for weak teams. Facts. DG, my guy, release Jesus off the books. World-class left winger striker. Better work your magic. Keyword there. Work your magic. And yeah, man, we're stocked on the right-hand side. I'm not saying I'm for it, but on paper, if need be, Martinelli, Trossard, Jesus can all be moved to the right-hand side. The reality is the right-sided options we're trying to see Saka playing out of his skin. We're therefore trying to see Dalman. We wouldn't be against Wanyeri getting some opportunities there. And obviously, Noni's in the mix. Big up Noni. So, yeah, I'm not on it. Don't think we're going to change our style with 7 games left. Playing nice, got us nowhere. So keep winning ugly. Just get over the line. I'm on that. DG, if you were Ralph Rangnick or Bert behind the scenes and you could sign 4 players to elevate Arsenal, who would they be? There's a lot of things to consider, man, but Krupti of Bournemouth, Nathan the Cat of Anderlecht, sorry, or that Kez Smith guy, but that's more long-term. Bring Julian Alvarez. Just do it. Have a serious conversation about Morgan Rogers. Just see how feasible it is. Honestly, can't care less for City. In my head, it's all about the 7 games of the Prem and the Champs. Facts. That's where I'm at. What's going on? Why are people buying into the stupid score more narrative? City is struggling to score. Now, let's not lie. We do need to score more. We know we're in a day and age of systemic football where there's hardly any space. Teams are cancelling each other out. We can play a bit more attacking football. We need to score more. We do need to score more, or we'll always fall up short. We'll have moments like against PSG or even City in the cup final where we know there was more to give with our eyes in all aspects. We know it was summed up by certain mistakes. Reality is, you look at our attack, we know we are going to score goals. We've been saying this for the last 4 years. We know we're going to score goals. You don't know who's going to score the goals. At a push in these 4 years, Saka's done it for 3 of the 4. He was due that. You're surprised and not surprised if these men bag or don't bag. And yes, our team generates a lot of chances, set pieces, we score goals. Let's be honest. Arteta needs to free up, find a system to get the best out of us in the attacking sense. And we need players that we can bet. In the same way, we look at our defense. We know what lewis-skelly can do. We know what Hincapié can do. Calafiori, Benjamin White, Ifit, Timber, Mosquera, Gabriel Magalhaes, William Saliba. If I've missed out anyone, don't feel left out. Obviously, big up Raya and big up Kepa by the Butterfingers. Midfield, that's probably our most confident asset. If we split the team into 3 subunits, that's where we're most confident. And our whole defensive ethos as a team. Because our first attacker is Raya. Our first defender is our striker. Midfield's a bit mixed, but generally Rice, not everyone's convinced on Zubi, but Rice, Zubi is calm. Couple of dodgy options can play there. When you start moving to the attacking line, you could include Odegaard and Eze's role either in the midfield unit or the attacking unit. You know, Eze's doing his thing. And for whatever reason, whether it's him or the manager or whatever, it hasn't been for the whole season. Gyokeres is finding his feet. Some of it was his own fault. Some of it wasn't. Don't really know what you're getting. Saka shocked me negatively because you're not scoring. That's still my guy. Trossard, Martinelli, got a lot of time for them. Doesn't shock me the Trossard I'm seeing in the second half of the season. Shocked me, but doesn't shock me because you've got ability in the first half of the season. But let's not lie. If you're genuinely sitting there and with honest to God, you're looking at improvements that this team can make from a place of love, goals are one of those. Because look at, there's a base. As much as we moan about goals, we are scoring goals. We're up there for goals out of all the European teams. We're up there for chances created. We're actually up there for goal. Unpopular opinion, we could do a lot better, but we're actually up there for goals from open play. You throw in the set pieces. You throw in the fact that everyone calls us boring and negative. We play the highest line in the Premier League, and we face the lowest defenses. So if anybody's ruining football, being anti-football, it's not us. Maybe Arteta and these, man, maybe they were burned from 2022, 23, and also they probably saw where the game's going. We're in a day and age of systemic football, micromanaging. What you do off the ball doesn't, is going to make the difference. This is the game we're in. You're going to see that international level. You're already seeing that international level. When it ends, don't know. Ferran Torres is respectfully the most dog shit striker I've ever seen. No strength, no brain. David Beckham had no pace, but was a great winger. Ferguson was smart enough to make a team play to his strengths. I feel Martinelli suffered from Arteta's pragmatism. Yes and no. I don't think Martinelli's decision making is improved to the point where at 24, the penny might drop and you might have great goal scoring seasons, but I believe this is always going to be you. Because at the same time, if you're saying that about the gaffer, to be fair, Martinelli had his first standout season under Mikel Arteta. I don't think in our system, I don't think he's smart enough to play as a striker. I don't think, he's back to goal and all of those things. He's best when he's on instinct. If we was a counter-attacking team, a direct team, someone mentioned Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool, he would bang in that. But that's not the dynamics of the game right now. And that's not how we play. And also, I do think Martinelli is at his best when he's free and he's calculated, don't have too much time to think. But then that caps you because the best footballers can do that. But the best footballers are actually very calculated. So that's where there's a lot of certain individuals, I just accept them for what they are and they can be used in certain conditions appropriately. I just don't want no shadows over us. For me, this title is symbolic. It's like the start of a new chapter. So the players got to believe there ain't no asterisk. City getting penalised will overshadow it. It won't overshadow it to us. And I don't think it will to the players because if anything, you're going to more think about the last 3 years in all the cups when you felt falling short. The moments you've had with your boys when it's not worked. Who's going to care about that? Like, I don't think there's going to be an asterisk. And if there is, who cares? That can't. And to be fair, pardon my French, if internally at Arsenal and us Arsenal fans, if we think there's an asterisk and it shadows us, we're a bunch of bitches. I can't lie to you. Like, it's got nothing to do with us. It's got nothing to do. We can't control things we can't control. What we can control is getting things over the line. We can't control people cooking books, punishments being given. That is their business. That is absolutely their business. I hear you on the chapter thing, but that's up to them. With so many player links, I would hope at least 2-3 players are signed in the summer. Last summer, we signed 8 players with 1 on loan. But I want Arsenal to win, but not via a penalty. I don't care how Arsenal win, bro. Like, just run me what needs to be run. Do we really think City? I'd be amazed if within now till the 25th of May or whenever it is, that you're going to see anything around City and sanctions. It's so bizarre. We have fans that would discredit our title because someone else got caught cheating. That's their business, bro. DG, big bucks paid to Arteta to bring back Calafiori in the right mindset and Gyokeres also in the right focus mindset. Euphoria and sadness could have a twisted impact in the running. It's true, but it's down to the players as well. At the end of the day, it's this. You got to get on with it, bro. Gyokeres, you can't. Not that I'm saying it is, but cool. Enjoy it. Even now, enjoy Sweden. The minute you roll back in at Arsenal, remember how it felt to lose in the cup final. And it's irrelevant. You've got the World Cup now in the summer. Pattern up now. Calafiori. It can get worse. Took an L with Italy. Took an L in the cup final. Didn't start it. Feel sorry for yourself. It's going to get worse. Unfortunately, in life, the most beautiful thing and the harshest thing, it moves on. So as you're right, it is the manager's job to gash you lot, which to be honest, out of all of Arteta's question marks, I don't doubt that from him and the players. They've got to get on with it, bro. Like, they've got to get on with it. Anyone who wants to cry and feel sorry for themselves, respectfully, you need to stay at home. Because if you're crying now, if you don't do what needs to be done in May, you're really going to have something to cry about. And it's going to be another familiar stench. To try to deduct points for City this season would be ridiculous. They would be back in the Prem August 2027. The Premier League will do everything to make sure City don't face sanctions purely because it's in their best interest. Whether City are right or wrong, it's in their best interest for City to be here or City not to. It damages their product, innit? 16, 20, and 22. Arsenal position themselves to sign 3 impressive talents. We've joined the race for Kenneth Efron, obviously at Hertha Berlin, a 16-year-old. Bayern Munich, Man United are all involved there. We're still linked with Nathaniel Brown. I don't buy it in that. I think there's clearly admiration for the player, but do we need another left back? I'm not too sure on that. Arsenal, Real Madrid, Barcelona, Manchester City, Liverpool, all in the picture. Pardon me, picture. Sky Sports also said Man United are involved in that. There's no way I could say that. Joan Mateo Boyer is also on our list, a very talented attacking player. So there's several links flowing and whatnot, people. Lee Carsley hailed Miles Lewis-Skelly's attitude. There's no point in us bringing players of high potential and then not playing them. A player like Miles is a real asset for us, but we have to make sure we get we get the head as well as the body. We definitely got that with Miles. His attitude was outstanding. No, I can't control that, nor can he. So it's down to the manager. But what I can control is the minutes I give him at the international level. For him to do 290s in a short span of time, it sets him up nicely now going back to Arsenal. True, true, and true. Ben White was really upset about the English. Man, again, Ben White, they're doing you dirty. They're lying and whatnot. And you know what? I have to give it to this journalist, you know. Because you knew the minute De Zerbi got that job, you knew Aubameyang was going to be linked to Spurs. And that's what you're seeing now. Do you not think Aubameyang would do it? I mean, you went Chelsea. You might as well complete the whole gala set. But yeah, I'm not too sure on that. Arsenal want 109 million trio of talented youngsters as Berta looks to future-proof the squad. Okay, same article linking us with the same stuff. What's this? The defender is also on the radar of Liverpool and United. Who? Rangers fended off interest from Chelsea and Arsenal. Seems like we're really aggressive with this Scotland thing. Rangers have reportedly put forward a deal for teenage sensation Aston Scally despite interest from English Premier League giants. The 15-year-old son of Clyde coach Neil Scally has already trained with Danny Rowe's first team as the Rangers boss remains keen to thrust the youngster into the senior squad after his 16th birthday. He previously wanted to give him a chance earlier. City, Liverpool, Arsenal have all been linked, as well as Chelsea. Why not? They're confident he'll sign a new deal. He's apparently described as a highly rated 16-year-old. He's a fullback, so bring him in. Sunday League fullback and all. Bring him in. He's also got AC Milan, Borussia Dortmund all interested in him. Crazy, man. I wonder if footballers ever go and look of the clubs they're being linked with. We've also been linked with Christian Kofan, the 19-year-old who played against us. Leverkusen apparently wants 60 to 70 million euros. So a similar fee from Gyokeres would be needed. And again, Wanyeri and Miles Lewis-Skelly ran the show, man. Some of the 1-2s and the great play and the finishing from Wanyeri, man. Like, the finishing from Wanyeri is great. Why Arteta is right to ignore. I mean, Odegaard, we know your quality. We just need you. We need all our players to stand up to be counted now. So we don't need articles to tell us that. Our match next month, as in next month being May, against West Ham has been moved. The game against the Hammers was previously scheduled for September the 9th, but has now been pushed back a day to Sunday, May the 10th, and it will kick off at the London Stadium at 4:30, people. We have lost just one of our last 17 league games against West Ham. Hopefully that's not the case. Although, even though I don't want to lose, Spurs. I mean, I'm not one to care about money in this, but new FA data shows 460 million spent on agent fees between the 4th of February 2025 and the 2nd of February 2026. Chelsea spent 65.1 million during this period. Aston Villa with the second highest agent fee spent of 38.4. And in full, you can see it here. Well, fair play. Who spent the lowest? Burnley, then Everton. My eyes are not really working in between Brentford, then Nottingham Forest, then Brentford. Where are we? Fair enough. Yeah, but some of these clubs made some big moves, so it is gonna play a part. So yeah, who cares about the rivals, man? Walcott scored over 100 goals for us in all comps. He weren't a bad player. Frustrating, but he weren't a bad player. Unfortunately, some Arsenal fans buy into the try to appease rivals because they don't want to be the worst fan base ever, as if Liverpool, Chelsea, United fans are as bad as... Stop, bro. If that's the case with them, stop seeking external validation. Because if they think all the Arsenal fans were the worst and whatnot, let them have that. Like, who cares? Like, at this point, who cares? And I get you. You're not wrong, but people need to move on from that. Do you think Arteta focuses on just the overall team in every game? Maybe we should be aiming to mix it up and center around the striker sometimes. Don't think we play to Gyokeres' strengths at all. Could do something in that regards, but again, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And you can't just really play to a striker's strengths in today's day and age. That we could definitely find him a bit more, but long gone are those days. Every striker at club and country level, don't matter if you're a 20-goal man or not prolific, you're spending a lot of game in midfield, you're working the channels, you're like the sacrificial lamb. I even saw an article, they were talking about England's lack of development for number nines coming through the youth system, which obviously that is something. But is that an England problem or is that a football problem? Because there's guys that can get 20 league goals. They're not necessarily going to play for the biggest of clubs at this moment. You will need half of these managers want centre midfielders up front. So yeah, man, it's interesting. It's interesting. Do you think De Zerbi can save Spurs? I've never subscribed to the fact that Spurs are going down. Obviously, he's a great tactical coach. If they buy into him, why not? But he's got a short period of time to whip these players into shape, learn good habits, unlearn bad habits, and actually motivate them. And He's got a 5-year deal. De Zerbi has shown he'll walk away from things. So on paper, I think it's a good announcement. I don't think there's any in-betweens. I think he's either going to be the second best manager in recent times other than Pochettino. I know Postecoglou one. Like, I think it's either going to be fantastic at Spurs or he's going to be mad shit. Like, I don't think you're doing an okay job with him. I think it's either going to be amazing or not. And there's nothing wrong with beefing with the players because he beefed one of them players at Marseille. And I think since then, that lad's gone to Italy and he's getting a lot of plaudits. He's a madman. So, yeah. With that being said, though, people, we've been here for an hour. There's no point wasting you lot's time. Appreciate you lot. If you smash the like button and subscribe, everyone who's joined part in the chat, appreciate you lot. Slowly but surely, we're moving closer and closer to football being back, man. So, yeah, we're definitely going to have 2 watch-alongs on Saturday. Don't quote me, but I'm sure it's Man City, Liverpool, 12:45, and we're playing at 8 in it. So, yeah, man, smash the like button, subscribe, and all that good stuff. I'll see you lot later, man.
There's always just like active and like defending.
I think it's like